Good morning, everyone. What's up? I hope everyone is well and had a fantastic weekend. We're coming back with a live morning broadcast for you guys. This is exactly what we do every single day in Investors Underground. And just a disclaimer before we get into it, this video is for information and educational purposes only. If you're happy with that, please keep watching. If you're not, then please switch off and we will see you another day. Right, it is Monday the 13th of January. Let's get straight into it. We've got tons to go through. So straight over to San Diego. Josh, take it away.
Yeah, good morning. Market's sliding a bit this morning. I want to see if these Qs maybe find support in the next couple of days under 500. Kind of looking at this area to the left, which was towards the end of November, like November 19th, 20th, at 493. So maybe that's the spot where you could potentially go shopping for a little bounce. But until then, we're moving averages are kind of turning over a little bit. We're below the 50-day moving average. Things are heavier. You have high octane things like the quantum sector and robotics still selling off, and this could just kind of be like a momentum stall. With that, Bitcoin is kind of like getting through this neckline, which was at 92,000. So if this continues to slide, you could get more momentum coming out of the market a little bit, and that has me looking at tied to Bitcoin. I want to see MSTR. If this breaks under 300 again and starts to slide, and this SMST can get some momentum, 630s, 640s to confirm. I'll be looking here this morning just because it seems like spec money and paying premiums for things is kind of out of favor right now. So I am interested in a trade there. Boot Barn, these guys do like Western apparel. They reported preliminary earnings after the close on Friday, which the EPS blew the expectation out of the water. Stocks up a little bit pre-market. You kind of have these all-time highs, at 169, 170. So if we start to break out there, I will be looking. And a reason that I'm interested in this, as what kind of sector as well, is because urban is also gapping up on record holiday sales. I know ANF had them as well, but the market didn't digest those numbers as well as they're digesting Urban Outfitter. And this is very close to all-time highs. It went through on low volume this morning, but I want to see more volume come in, and just a higher relative volume if this thing is going to trend all day. But I like that apparel names together are kind of going. The only thing that you do have to note is that markets are weak here. People are using this as a chance to sell into things. Liquidity points up to as a chance to take some profits. So that is something that you have to be careful when you're looking at any potential longs in a weaker market environment. Like NVDA is getting to the other side of this flag, and I wouldn't be surprised to see some type of a washout into 128, 126, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I think you just want to be with the trend until it changes. Like, I'm not trying to guess any type of bounce point right now on the Qs or the SPY. If we really start to speed up and unwind over the next couple of days, that would get me more interested in a potential bounce, more so than today. But I don't really want to be a counter trend right out of the gate. I kind of want to be more with it. So that's all for me this morning, and I will pass this back to Sam.
Brilliant. Thank you, Josh. Looks like it's time for me to get a new wardrobe then. Right, let's bring it back to Europe. Emil, take it away.
All right. Yes, morning, everyone. Few things for me this morning. First and foremost, PHIO. I like this one mostly because every time kind of gaps up, tends to give back. So with that in mind, not necessarily it's going to happen today, but since we kind of reached these levels, I am going to be interested basically in any blow off out of the gate. I like the fact that already showing some sign of weakness. So any pops after the open, I'm going to be interested, keeping 450 in mind as a risk. So any pops from there, I'm going to short and then cover based on previous levels. So I'm going to mostly recycle based on those levels, and obviously if it's going to work my way. The next one is SLRX. The next name, same thing here, pretty much big gap into this previous area of liquidity, and again, nothing for me right now, but I'm going to wait the open. Already up a lot, and those who been in a hurry to short this one kind of get hurt. So looking more or less for a blow off. We shall see. Ideally, it's going to lose this level at some stage, 375, and then pops against 4, and looking then for the backside. Not interested in catching the top. Obviously this one has a history of running much further than most people think, so I'm not going to fight with it, but again, looking definitely at these levels for some sort of rejection. And then the last small cap name I'm watching is ATPC. Already, kind of been back and forth this morning, but again, same thing here. Since kind of lost these levels, I'm going to be interested in any push towards 250. I'm going to leave a little bit of room early in the morning into 3 area. I hope it's going to have some pops, and then it's going to stay heavy after that. We shall see. But again, looking to recycle based on these levels until it's going to show a real sign of weakness. And then I'm looking at TMDX for so far the market, overall market is gap down, so a lot of selling pressure. But since this one kind of found a bid on Friday, I'm going to be mostly looking for pretty much dips, see if 63 is going to firm up, and basically any washout out of the gate. But again, not looking to catch the falling knife, rather wait for some sort of a build up, and then I'm going to be interested in a long, risking Friday lows. I really want to go for a bounce trade here. The next one is ASML. Same thing here, looking for more or less a gap close here, and resuming the trend. Obviously, we shall see if the market is going to help with this with the 30s. So basically any build up, and then going to risk pretty much 715. Looking for a bounce, and we shall see in the next coming days the trend it's going to firm up. Obviously, the overall market needs to show some strength at some stage, but this is so far it's not looking that strong. So looking for a reversal type. And the last one is RGTI. Looking on these quantum names, see if there is going to be any washout under 7. Pretty much looking at this level. I really want to see if can catch a bid, and then looking for a bounce rate here on these quantum names. Obviously, looking the whole sector, but this one is the main one. So pretty much that's it for me today, guys. Good luck, and back at you, Sam.
Brilliant. Thank you, Emil. And let's head straight over to Judah. Judah, take it away.
Good morning. I'll start off with some names with PRs this morning. Really kind of falling out of day one movers, unless like we spoke about CEG on Friday morning, unless it's larger cap names. But anyhow, I'll be keeping these on watch. VSTM was pretty much a doubler on this PR out. a week or two ago, and we're starting to pull back on this decreasing volume. And we had another PR out this morning that it's starting to reclaim 6. So if we start to just quietly trend off 6, maybe we could start to continue on with this daily. So I'll keep an eye out over there. PHIO, I'm only having this on watch because of its history. I have these two kind of key levels here. The only way that would interest me, the only way that I would get involved is if we consolidate for the first hour or two off open. If we do consolidate on these key levels, then that's a sign that we could get wild later. Otherwise, I have absolute no interest. Sub $5 biotechs, I mean, they just barely work out and they're not worth the effort. So this is going to be just a back end watch, given its history. If we do consolidate for the hour or two, then I'd potentially get interested given that consolidation lows. SPRC, which round tripped, had a PR out this morning as well. This was the PR. Pretty big move, decent volume lately. We've been pulling back on the decreasing volume. This 90s level is key for later. I have an alert there. If it reclaims and supports, then potentially I'd get interested versus those Friday highs. And NITO, which just came out with a PR a few minutes ago, I have this key level around 140. Potential liquidity trap here. We've been getting some good action on it lately, some good volume. We had that 2DLV bounce on Thursday, and we're still holding that 140. So if we could trend today, then that would be of interest. And then as for continuations, we got FUBO, which I mentioned a couple of times. Reminds me a little bit of Serve back here. The only thing that I want to see is those 520, 540s reclaim, kind of using these hourly levels to gauge it a little bit. But I want to just see these fives kind of hold and build for potential continuation, whether it's today or we have one more inside day and it happens tomorrow. I'm still keeping this on watch. We have CRNC, which I kind of want to see. We did get a gap down across many names today, so it's kind of a little lower pre-market. I wanted to see it a little higher and break the 1620s, but if we hold and start to build, this kind of reminds me a bit like DXYZ back here, just the way that it's falling now. And if we could get that bounce, then I'd be interested. This was a pretty wild mover off the that NVIDIA headline in pre-market, all day grind. And then it had to follow through. This move was huge, and now we're down 50%. So if we could start the trend, I'd get some interest there. We got DJT into inauguration. The problem though is that markets closed that day due to Martin Luther. So it would have to kind of be a trade into Friday. That 36 builds, I would be interested. We have a very nice. What was this, like a 400% move? We came back down a little bit, and now we're just been consolidating since that November kind of top. So I want to see that 36 reclaim and build for push into the weekend. Robotic sector, Serve, decent bounce on Friday. 18's that key level there, but the two that I'm watching the smaller cap is ARB, which we had on Friday broadcast as well for the bounce, and now I'm looking for that follow through continuation, as well as GFAI. Kind of want to see that 225, 230 reclaim and continue. And then just briefly, IONQ had this PR at this morning. It's bouncing a little bit. I have this 3280s as key for me. I could be off here, but I don't think today is the day that it's going to bounce. If so, I kind of would love to see one more day. I mean, we have all these key levels on the dailies. I would love one more flush out on all these quantum names. LAES and AMPG took a pretty big beating, so I could imagine these two just hanging around, but would love for these other four to just flush out one more day and then get involved tomorrow. Otherwise, if they hold on today, then I would have some good levels to potentially play a bounce tomorrow. So quantum, no interest today, but I'm going to be watching them to see how they move for that potential bounce tomorrow. And back to you, Sam.
Brilliant. Thank you, Judah. Let's head across to Stan. Stan, you there?
All right. Yep.
Right, you got your share your screen?
Absolutely. All right. So just I'll just quickly go over a couple of names as given the gentleman there covered a few of the watches that I also have on my plate. So the first one that I have here is SLRX. And SLRX, I mean, right now we're sort of coming up against some previous resistance over here back from end of July, August move. So for me, I'm in no rush. Ideally, it opens, and then I want to see what that opening print looks like. I want to see what the action looks like out of the gate, and then maybe look to trade any parabolic exhaustion move that fails. So that's SLRX, and also we have PHIO. Similar categories, similar idea. Both of these names tend to give up a lot of their moves when they run on their first day. So just looking at some of the historical behavior helps me shape some of the overall thesis. But ideally, some sort of exhaustion move, 430s and higher 450s, any sort of push. Versus this 4 over under level would be of interest. And then as far as more some of the other names that I'm watching, obviously the Q basket is on the watch, so RGTI, QUBT, QBTS, etc. With IO and Q being quote unquote the leader so far. So I'm mainly watching these for the bid side to firm up, and if they offer a good opportunity on the long side. But similar to Judah's thoughts just a few minutes ago, I ideally for me, one more flush would be better for any sort of a long positioning bounce. So with that in mind, I have borrows, and I don't mind playing any weakness if the weakness continues out of the gate, as long as I can find a good exposure risk level. And again, I'll keep IO and Q on watch just to make sure. And then PLTR is the next one along with SOUN. SOUN similar to the Q basket, and then PLTR. For me, this daily chart just looks really, really broken here. So if it remains heavy versus VWAP, if old pops get rejected, etc., I don't mind joining that weakness. And that's pretty much it for me, Sam.
Fantastic. Thank you, Stan. And thank you, gentlemen. Thank you as well to everyone who tuned in. This is exactly what we do every single morning at Investors Underground. And right now we are offering a chance to give us a try. If you head across to investorsunderground.com, we are offering a test drive for 2 weeks. Right, everyone. Hope you all have a fantastic day. Trade them well.